Hi everyone, just a quick video. I want to talk about expectations. So, we oftentimes expect too much of others or even ourselves. We expect people to act in a way that we think is moral or ethical. We expect people to do more than what they're capable of or desire to do. And that can lead us to be disappointed in them. And when we aren't able to do what we expect of ourselves, then we can be disappointed in ourselves. It can even lead to bitterness. And that's not good. So we don't want to be putting pressure on ourselves or other people for that matter. And that can end up actually making things worse, because when you put expectations on yourself, you put in expectations on others, and you're telling people, oh, I want you to do this and this and this. And it's like, it's good to encourage people. Like, for example, if you want to help someone to get fit or help them to break free from an addiction or something like that, then we can't like have too much expectations. Like, everybody's individual, and just because you could do it doesn't mean that they might be able to do it, at least not in the same time frame that you could. So oftentimes we would put deadlines on things. We would expect to be a certain place by a certain time, like become a millionaire in a year or something crazy like that, which is just not possible, I don't think, for most people, even if they do everything right. So I think you want to just be realistic, have realistic expectations. Another thing is like when people expect too much in like the dating market, where they're like, especially you've got a lot of these like modern women, for example, who, because they've put themselves on dating apps, now they think that they're tens. So they think that they can attract tens, and yeah, they might be able to get the attention of them, but they're not going to be able to hold them down, probably. And you've also got men sort of like probably putting a lot of pressure on women to be a certain way for them as well. Like, so you have to look at yourself and think, am I really worth that? I mean, if you're not putting the work into yourself, then are you, are you worthy of having someone who does put work into themselves? So yeah, so if you know really being honest with yourself, then you'll just try to settle for someone who is on your level. Either that, or you would just not bother at all, because yeah, you would just be like, okay, well, I guess this ain't for me. But yeah, it's just people are just kind of like, I don't know, they want to expect so much out of life, but do very little to get things out of life. And of course, yeah, life is tough, but it's tough for everybody. And if you want to be an outlier in this life, you want to be successful, you want to be, you want to have a good life that is, better than most people's life, that where they're just going to work every day and struggling, then you're going to have to do exceptional things. You're going to have to put more time in than most people are willing to do. Work on a side hustle. You're going to have to Either that, or you would just kind of think, okay, well, I'm not going to be part of the system. Just like, if someone decides they don't feel like they're good enough for the person that they want in dating, they'll just decide, well, dating ain't for me then. So we either have to make some compromise, or we just have to just kind of give up entirely. That's that's what we have to do. Otherwise, we're going to have to actually become the person that we need to be to get what we want in life. So we do need to not feel entitled. Expectation, it's like a lot of it time it comes from entitlement, feeling entitled to having the finest things in life. But this world is very competitive, and you have to question, why do I even want these things anyway? Do I need these things? Do I need the Lamborghini? Is that even going to really make me happy long term? These are really things that you have to have a deep think about. Some introspection. What is it you really want out of life? Because we've been kind of like put a lot of pressure on us from social media, thinking that unless you're earning, I don't know, 6 figures every month, or even 7 figures a month, or something crazy like that, then you're broke. That is just absolutely insane. The problem is, a lot of the people that are promoting these things are fake, and they're renting stuff out to give you the illusion that they're doing better than what they are. And eventually, this, fake it till you make it, where it becomes true, where they do actually have all these things, like the Lamborghini, the Bugatti, the mansion. But why do we need a mansion? It becomes wasteful at a certain point, I believe. Why do you need 10 bathrooms in your house? You're only going to use one, right? What is the point of that? It's just all waste. Unless you're going to have 10 different people living in your house, then I don't see the point. So, yeah, as long as you've got enough money to do what you want in life, but you have to question, what is it I really want out of life? Do I need this particular kind of person in my life to be happy? Probably not. And if you do, then maybe that's some issue that you have. Like going back to the last video on confidence, you have to build that inner confidence, unbreakable confidence. That's real confidence. So we don't need to just let go of outcome attachment, expecting things, and that can lead us to be constantly worried that it won't happen. But once we stop caring, then that's when we free our mind, and we can just kind of explore who we really are without any bounds. So many people are distracted with whatever new fad business online or whatever, and going on countless different dates, or just going on online dating, just talking to random people just to keep getting ghosted, and then getting flaked on when it comes to trying to date them. So we really need to focus on who is it that we really are, because then we can worry about whether we want to pursue somebody, or we want to start a business or whatever. Find who you are. Find what your mission is here on Earth. That's what I would recommend anyway. But just keep your expectations low. I'm not saying don't have any, but expectations can just lead to depression and disappointment when it doesn't materialize, and just lead you to just give up. But once you have realistic expectations, then that can make you feel more positive, because when you're able to accomplish these little goals, then life is great. It's like physique goals, for example. Like, you're not going to look like, no one's going to look like Chris Bumstead or Sam Sulek or whatever, unless you're taking copious amounts of gear. And even then, you're probably not going to look like them, because you might not have the genetics for that. So, just focus on your own progress. It's you versus you. Forget everybody else. Focus on your own progress. Stop comparing yourselves to others. Thinking that, this person's looks like this, or this person's doing this, so therefore I'm a loser because I don't live up to that. Nah, you make your own rules in this life. No one tells you if you're successful, and no one can tell you if you're successful or not. Only you can tell yourself, do you feel successful? Because if you feel successful, that's all that matters. For some people, they could just be playing video games and chilling, and just, they just like to have fun with their friends. They like to, go on a few holidays here and there. They like to maybe do some volunteering or whatever. They like to just do some fun activities, make good memories. But so much pressure has been put on young people to hustle, hustle, hustle. It's just, like I said, warping people's perceptions of what is possible and what they should be able to receive. And we need to stop with that. So I'll be live at about 7 p.m. UK time. Until then, take care. Bye.